welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello. Welcome to Reader's Magnet's Festival of Storytellers. My name is David Dockter, and I am the author of the book Black Rock Redemption. And I hope that some of you have read it and really enjoyed it. Everybody I've ever heard from tells me that it was enjoyable. But I'm here to talk about my new book today. My new book is called Wagon Train Orphan. It is about a young man, eight years old, who is left to be an orphan after a wagon train massacre. His father was killed, and everybody else on the wagon train was killed, and him and his half Indian dog and half wolf dog are the only two survivors of this massacre. The story tells about how he survives and grows into a man. It tells of his adventures along the way and all of the people that help him. He lives and makes it to fulfill his father's dream of making it to the California gold country and beyond. He is helped along the way by lots of different people that he meets. Indians, whites, army soldiers. It's a typical Western in the fact that it is a bang bang shoot 'em up. There is lots of action. Mike Fagan is the boy's name, and he develops a reputation of being a bad man. Not bad physically, but a bad person to mess with. He is also very spiritual. The two things his father taught him was how to read the Bible and how to shoot. And he learned both of them very well. He spends time every night reading in his father's Bible that he rescued after the massacre. And the people he meets along the way, he introduces them to Christ through his readings. Some of them take a while before they actually come to Christ, and some of them don't really ever do. The Wild West was a great time in this country. It was a time for a lot of hate and a lot of love. It was time for adventure. The people that settled the West during this time were different than any other people throughout history. There had been migrations all over the world forever, but 99% of them were driven by government or by tribes and people running away from marauders or other people moving in to take over their lands or whatever. They were always sponsored some way or other. In the United States, this move westward was an independent move. Nobody sponsored it. Nobody told nobody that they had to go. People wanted to go because they were looking for the liberty and freedom to do and worship as they pleased. We have lots of people in the world today that are good, and we have our bad, and we have a different time running right now than has ever been run before. There's things that are happening that we don't understand, but they are still, the people today are different than what these Western pioneers were. The Western pioneers were a tough bunch of people. They took whatever happened and lived with it and worked with it. The story is that along the Oregon Trail during the migration, there was probably a grave for every mile along the story. So a lot of people didn't make it, but a lot of people did. They moved and brought their ideals with them from back east and their country and the country. They brought their the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence with them, and they lived by it. Some of them weren't good. There were outlaws and people that were out to take whatever they could and as much as they could. Excuse me. But there were others that come and to stand up for the weaker and bring the morals and values of what these United States are supposed to represent throughout the world. It's people like these that have made our country so so blessed, and and people wanting to be like us in the world. I mean, we are the primo. It's not that we as individuals are primo, it's our ideals and our insight, our freedoms, and our charity and our love for one another. Mike Fagan in the story as runs him to different religions. He interacts with them, with the Indians, with some of the others, the Spanish and the Catholicism, but he never ever forgets that everything he has and everything that happens to him is through the grace of God. That's what we would all do good to remember. But God is there for us all. Now, I'm going to give you a little background about me. My name is, like I said, David Dockter, and I grew up in Pueblo, Colorado during the 1950s and 60s. When I was in high school, my hobbies were fishing and hunting and rodeoing. Well, to pay for my hobbies, held several jobs while I was in high school. I was a janitor at a Dunkin' Donuts. I worked construction with a pool building company, and I worked bucking hay for 6 different dairies within the county of Pueblo. Now, if you want a hard job, buck hay for 8 hours a day or maybe 10 hours a day. By the time you get done with that for a month or two, you're going to be in shape, I guarantee you. After graduation in 1972, I joined the Navy, and spent my 18th birthday in boot camp. I spent 4 years active, 12 years reserve, and then I had to get out of the reserves because of health problems. I am still patriotic. I would do it again, and if need be, I can still do what I need to do to protect this country. I married my high school sweetheart in December of 72, and we were together for 28 years. We raised 4 beautiful, beautiful children. And then I lost her after 28 years. It was kind of rough. After a while, I got married again to a lovely woman, but our marriage didn't last. But I'm still great friends with this woman, and I thank God for her every day. I have held all kinds of jobs throughout my life, working in factories, a steel mill, as a security guard. I've run businesses. I have, and I have worked as a hog farmer. As a hog farmer, I got hurt and ended up having to retire because of it. I have written these 2 books that have been published, but anybody that wants to write should take a chance and do it. I have started probably 100 different books since my 20s, and I never finished one. You know, life, raising kids, serving on board ship, trying, just pay bills and just generally life. I never got the, I guess, ambition and the drive to finish. Well, when I started my Black Rock Redemption, things were a little different. I felt that God was guiding me all the way through writing that book, that story. And it was easy for me to complete. It just kind of flowed. I appreciate it. I feel like God guided me the whole way. And when I got it finished, I was able to get it published. And I've got a question here. Somebody, Maria, I hope I said that right, asked, does writing energize or exhaust you? It depends. If I'm having trouble, writer's block, or can't really fit something that I think should belong into the story into it and stuff, sometimes it exhausts me. But if things are flowing and the story is going like I think it should, I am happy and energized while I'm doing it. I mean, I may be tired when I stop, and when I'm writing, I try to write maybe 2 to 3 hours at a shot. There's some people I know that can sit down and they can write for 4, 5, 6 hours or longer. But I can't do that. I kind of have to rest my mind, and if I do that, I start jumping around and lose the thread of the story. Right now, I live in Ordway, Colorado, and I have for the last 15 years. And I'm active within our community, and I'm active within my church, where I have served as an elder for the last 12 years. God guides me when I sit down and write, and guides me in everything else. When I was writing Wagon Train Orphan, like I said, Black Rock Redemption took me about 6 months to write. Wagon Train Orphan has taken me 4 years to write. JM asked, what is my hardest scene on your book to write? The hardest scene for me is when I write about disasters and trouble and people not respecting each other. Like I said, Wagon Train Orphan took me about 4 years to write, but I felt like God was guiding me every step of the way. It's also a lot bigger book than what my first one was. People have asked if I'm going to write any more. I am in the process of kicking a couple of projects around right now. One is about a soldier that returns from war and suffers from PTSD. This is a problem I think that needs to be discussed and worked through and understood by everybody. The other one I'm thinking about is the story of a couple of Irish boys that were sent over to the United States in the 1600s, 1670s, 1680s as indentured servants. And I plan to tell how these indentured servants were treated, how they were wronged. Not everybody wronged them, but how they were wronged. And how I kind of at this point, I'm thinking that these two boys will end up being runaways, and again, we'll see how they survive. I'm not there yet, but we'll see. Rahab, yes. He asked if I still going to go camping. Yes, Ray, I love to go camping. I'm a little old and stiff to sleep on the ground anymore, but I still love to go camping. I love to go fishing. I love to go gold prospecting and stuff with my metal detector. So this kind of gives me up in the mountains and stuff. It gives me a feel for the country that I write about. I don't write much about the country back east because, to be honest, I've never been east of the Mississippi. How many unpublished and half-finished books do I have? Well, if I look around and go through storage and stuff, I could probably find maybe 10 or 15 half-finished books. I don't know that I'll ever get back to them. I have kind of lost interest in them. I may get interest in them as they come around, someday. Yeah, Vanessa, that is a lot. Yeah, like I said, I probably started over 100 stories during my lifetime that I never got around to finishing. Some of them I just wrote, well, what would be probably a chapter or two. Some of them I wrote maybe 100 pages worth or something before something happened and I quit writing in them. But I have always enjoyed writing, and I believe I have a story to tell, and I believe that people will enjoy reading my stories. Any of you that read Wagon Train Orphan, some of the people that are listed in here are true historical people. The events that they're involved in my book are fictional, but the people and the places where they are located at are listed here. I see by the time on the clock that I just have a few minutes left. I wish to thank Reader's Magnet and the Festival of Storytellers and all of you that have joined me for watching today. My book is available through Amazon and through Barnes and Nobles and through Reader's Magnet. I hope I've just got to ask another question of what's the message of your book? Well, I believe the message of my book is anything is possible with God. That's the message of my book. That is also the motto of my life. And I believe everybody that is the truth. Anything you want to accomplish, if you can't accomplish it by yourself, you can accomplish it through God. Well, looks like I got about 2 minutes left. Like I said, I want to thank everybody involved in this. I have enjoyed doing this immensely. And I wish all of you a blessed day and a blessed week. And I wish I truly wish that you get my book and enjoy it. And let me know how you like it, so I'll know if I'm on the right track with things. I thank you, and goodbye until next time.